All right, now we're going to look at body planes. What are they? How are they used? And what are the different types? So, when we talk about the different body planes, what a body plane is referring to is some kind of cut. So what a body plane is, I grabbed basically a little square here. So this is what a plane is. And I cut in certain orientation to be able to, so in order for me to investigate different features of the body system. So when we look at this plane here, so let's make it a little bit more fancy here. So you have this little plane here. If you remember from geometry, they talked about planes when they first introduced it. So the first type of plane, it's called the sagittal plane. So sagittal plane is a type of plane that goes either directly downwards, and it separates the body into right and left sections. Okay? So, sagittal plane, right and left. There's a different type of sagittal. There's literally lateral and mid-sagittal. Mid-sagittal plane is referring to the sagittal cut at the midline of the body. So it's straight at the midline that goes out and it separates into right and left. Next, we have either called the frontal or the coronal plane. So this specific plane, again, comes from the top downwards, but it separates the patient or the model, whatever you want to use, into an anterior and posterior region. So anterior front, posterior the back. The third type is called transverse cross-section or transverse plane. This goes in at a more of a horizontal plane and separates the body via superior and inferior. So superior meaning the top or up, and inferior meaning below. The final type of plane, this is the fourth type of plane, is a diagonal cut called the oblique. So the oblique cut is a diagonal cut. Again, it all really depends on what you're specifically trying to study. So it's diagonal. Some kind of cut that, whether it's in some kind of limb or other torso region, this is referred to as the oblique cut. So these are the four different terminologies we use in order to demonstrate different body regions, and in order to study all the different systems based off of these four. So you have sagittal, frontal, transverse, and oblique.